pity on an
Alright. There was a vampire murdered in this town.
Please leave me.
You're going to have to leave. This is a crime scene, and no one other than ourselves, our Reynold Draelus, will be allowed access. The culprit in this crime has already been dealt with. It's just a matter of wrapping up the details. I'd tell you more, but frankly, I don't know who you are, so I'm not sure that I can trust
Excuse me.
with that sort of information. All right. Thank you. How kind.
He doesn't like that. He's okay with that. He's okay with that.
Really now? You're such a charmer. That's just talk. You're a... Really? That works for me. I suppose there's no harm in telling you what... Turns out that Braden Leary...
Exactly.
is a vampire. Or was. If it wasn't for Reynold Draelus, we may never have uncovered the truth. Let me explain. In the last week or so, we've found 2 bodies stashed in shallow graves outside the city walls. The bodies had puncture wounds on their necks. The bodies were those of some beggars who used to wander the streets looking for handouts. Vampire probably thought no one would miss them. Luckily for us,
I see.
arrived in town. He said he was a vampire hunter, so we asked for his help. He tracked the vampire to this house. When he entered the place around noon, Braden was sleeping. He was able to slay him at that point. Luckily, Braden's wife wasn't home. Poor thing. She didn't even know her husband was infected. We did a follow-up investigation, and it's true that no one recollects seeing Braden out in the daylight. He's only been spotted at night. I'm afraid there's not much more to tell you. So, you can see we really don't need any help, but thanks for the offer.
So this Braden guy?
He was a good man. I never saw this coming. But vampires are masters of deception, so I guess it makes sense.
Something doesn't feel right.
I'm impressed. It only took him a day to track the vampire down. I guess that's why he does it for a living.
Right.
Feel free to question anyone in town. They shouldn't give you too much trouble.
I can't believe this is happening. Please, please, I need your help. My husband was no vampire. It's ridiculous. No one will listen to me. Forgive me.
Okay, sure.
I loved my husband dearly, and to lose him this way makes no sense. Anything you can do to help would be wonderful. This is all happening so fast. I came home
What happened?
just a few hours ago. I found the door open, and my Braden dead. Standing over him was a Dunmer. I screamed and ran out into the street. Some city watch were nearby and heard me, I suppose, as they arrived quickly. I heard the Dunmer identify himself as Reynold Draelus. He said he was a vampire hunter, and that Braden was his mark. The guards seemed to know about Reynold, and after a search of the house, the body of some beggar was found stashed in our basement. The guards sent for Carriers, who is an investigator for crimes here in Bruma. In minutes, Reynold convinced Carriers that Braden was a vampire. Well,
Evidence looks bad, huh?
It was obviously planted here. Why would he stash a body in his own house? That's ridiculous. And another thing. The guards are making a big deal out of no one seeing Braden out in the daylight. Well, of course that's the case. He works at night and has to sleep during the day. Why does that make him a vampire? It's all that Reynold character. I don't trust him. The thing that bothers me the most is that I swear I've seen him before. Of course, he says he's never been here. Look, there isn't much more to say. Please, help me clear my husband's name. I know I sound desperate, but I know I'm right. Do you have...
Alright.
I have no idea
Where is he?
he'd be. Just find him and make him tell you the truth. I swear he's a liar. I know I sound desperate, but I know...
So, any new revelations in your... investigation? I'll warn
This
you about
Drayless
one
guy.
thing. I understand you wanting to help Erlene by checking up on Raynal. We have it on good authority from officials in a neighboring city that Raynal is what he says he is. So I'm not sure what you're trying to prove. I am only allowing you to do this investigation, and I use that term very loosely, because Erlene is so distraught. I'm sure Erlene is very upset. She'll be safe, though. Raynal has confirmed with us that she isn't infected. Her accusations that Raynal is lying is not surprising. At this point, she's so upset that she'll say anything to deny what really happened. I suppose if I found out a loved one was something as horrid as a vampire, I'd find any excuse not to believe it either.
You're lucky you don't live in
Keep up the
Skingrad, dude.
Good work, Sorry, I have a lot of work to do.
Do you have any more? Certainly. Poor Honora. Honora and Jorunda were once a happy couple, but that's over now. I hear that he took all of their money and stashed it after he committed a robbery. He was going to skip town on Honora, but got arrested before making good on his escape. Now she has no money left at all, poor thing. I know I sound desperate, but I know I'm right.
Alright, this Drayless guy.
I am honored to speak to the hero of the Battle of Bruma. Yes, the
This Drayless
vampire.
guy.
As far as I know, he just showed up recently here in Bruma. Not only that, but he already found a vampire among us. Apparently, Braden Lyrian was one of those vile creatures, and he seemed to be such a likable fellow. You too.
Good day. What can I do for you today? Please, go on. Raynal's staying in the last room down the hall upstairs. Here's the key. I always liked Braden and Arlene. They were a nice couple. I hope you get to the bottom of this, because I don't believe he was a vampire either.
What's
Man,
yours?
just selling him outright like that. I see. He was a part of a group of adventurers who uncovered an artifact. They agreed to stash it in a cave. They all have a key.
I've heard a number of
I see.
None of them good. I understand she might have been a hired assassin.
Hello. Goodbye. What is it? You do not
You too.
belong- What can I do for you today? Galaborn? That's odd that you should mention that name. Raynal told me that he was the last vampire he hunted. Yeah, that's right.
Oh,
Somewhere
no.
in Skingrad, I believe. He said he tracked Gelborn down and killed him. That's apparently why the guards trust him so readily. They had gotten word from Skingrad's City Watch about Raynal and his so-called accomplishment. And nothing else I can tell you about him. I know I may be out of line by saying this, but I think the city guards may be wrong. It's hard to imagine Braden
Like,
as
gasp.
a vampire.
I
could've
can't believe you
sworn
said
I
the
saw
guards
him
were
outside
wrong.
in the daylight before. Unless he just got that disease very recently, I'd say they were mistaken. When I heard Raynal killed him, I didn't know what to think. But after your visit here, I'm beginning to wonder. Just look for me if you need anything else.
So, how do you know about that?
Yeah.
Ah, too many people don't know how to keep quiet about official matters. Very well. The Skingrad City Watch informed us that Galaborn was killed by Raynal not too long ago. Galaborn was a vampire as well, obviously. What do you mean
No.
you disagree? That's a bold statement. What proof do you have that Galaborn was not a vampire?
I have his journal.
don't know what to say. It all makes perfect sense now. Why else would Raynal have removed this journal from the crime scene in Skingrad? I heard no mention of a key either. It must have been removed by Raynal from Braden's body before we arrived. To think that 2 innocent men were killed, and that I'm responsible for one of their deaths, I'm speechless. I will rouse the guard and begin a search for him in the city. Meet me at Olev's Tap and Tack in 1 hour.
Okay. Fine. What is wrong with this city, though? Bruma, like, Jesus.
Whatever I can do.
Just before I arrived here, I received a report from one of our scouts watching the roads. Raynal was spotted heading west out of Bruma. The scout tried to follow, but lost him in the mountains. The only cave to the west that comes close to the one described in Gelliborn's journal is Boreal Stone Cave. That must be where he's headed. You must get there before he acquires whatever artifact is being kept there and makes his escape.
Okay.
I'm keeping the
Sure.
city guard in Bruma, as Raynal doesn't know we're after him. If he sees a guard, he may panic and run. You're my only hope at the moment. Please, you have my authorization to do everything you can to bring him to justice. If he won't surrender, I think you know what to do. Hurry. I fear you have a day at the most to stop him. Please hurry. Raynal may make a break.
Congratulations. I had a feeling you would catch on sooner or later. Leaving that journal behind was a stupid mistake on my part. I saw you enter Olaf's Tap and Tack before I could get there, and I knew that I had to sneak out of Bruma somehow. It was only a matter of time before you or Carius figured it out. No matter. After I've killed you, I won't need my vampire hunter ruse any longer. Certainly
You won't surrender?
I'm surprised Carius didn't send the entire city watch up here. But then I would have seen that coming, I suppose. I expected to lay low for a while and then be on my way. So again, I underestimated you. This leaves me with little choice. Either I fight you now and have a chance at freedom, or I surrender and rot in a city dungeon. I prefer the chance for freedom. Yes.
It's your last chance.
Well then, we've talked enough. Only one of us will walk out of here alive this day. Good luck.
He's surprisingly nice about it.
I was praying for your swift return. What news do you bring? Long ago, I
The
made
thing.
a promise to Braden. I promised to never reveal to anyone what I'm about to reveal to you now. However, because you've avenged his unjust death, I feel that Braden would understand why I'm breaking that pact. Braden told
Break
me
the
about his
pact.
amulet when they first brought it home from whatever distant land it came from. He never really trusted anyone else in the group, and before he secured the treasure in that cave, he had a special enchantment placed upon it. The magic masks the true identity of the item. All it takes is a simple command word, and the amulet would be restored to its true state. No, he always feared this day would come. He left me knowledge of that word in the event that he died, and I came into possession of the keys. If the other members of Braden's group were still alive, and I on my deathbed, only then would I pass the knowledge on to them. If you'd give me that amulet, I would like to show you what you've recovered. Thank you.
Alright, sure.
I will now speak the word. Brother. Here is the amulet back. It's as beautiful as it was the day I remember seeing it long ago. I want you to keep it, as I have no use for this anymore. I'm certain that's what I want, and I'm certain that's what Braden would want. I thank you from the bottom of my heart, I hope that the amulet helps keep you safe on whatever roads you may travel.